What's up, guys? It has been a gazillion months or maybe even a year since I posted anything on my channel, and if I'm not mistaken, the last build, or not build but repair with it, was this white Cayman, where we fixed the wiring, the ABS module, and some like miscellaneous stuff like the parking brake module, and pretty much that's it. It's got about 15,000 miles on it, 15,000 miles, and it's 2014, which means it's not been driven much. And just now, a couple days ago, I purchased the new new car for me, which is 2008 Porsche Cayman S, and it was unloaded literally 2 hours ago. Right now it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and right now it's just getting bright outside, so I came out to do the walk around, and we're gonna need to figure out how to take it to the driveway. So that's a Florida car, the recent hurricane, I don't recall the name, but like really recent hurricane. And looks like it's a flat car that shows the water line right here, and pretty much you can see, I think you can see the line going here. So this was not a lie, so I was somewhat skeptical in the beginning, but looks like this confirms where the water line was. I noticed those scratches on the bumper, which is sad, because the pictures at the auction did not show the scratches, so it's obviously happened at some point when the vehicle was in the yard. What else? It's filthy, absolutely filthy, and the same, we can see the line going up to here, which is good. It means it never came into the intake, which is kind of on the other side of the car, but I mean the same height. What I did not see, and it's like this, I don't know, this damage to the rear bumper, and there was no damage on the pictures in the back here, I think, so it also the yard. But hold on, guys, this is the scariest part. Oh my god, I don't even want to touch it. I a little bit cleaned the driver's seat so I could drive this car off the trailer, because because you can see it's growing. It's like new biological form right in here. That's insane. Oh, I just noticed there's the burn mark, so possibly like there is the module on the other side, or the wiring, and maybe when it was under the water it shorted. I don't know, most likely that's what happened. Other than that, they probably did some drying. Right here, the seat belts are nasty. No water in here, and this is stick shift with a, I guess they call sports chrono something, and yeah, obviously the car was sold as non-running, not driving. It didn't have any displays showing the mileage, so that's for us to figure out later on. So like I mentioned, I little bit cleaned this seat. Okay, that's some personal information, I think. This is dry buffing disc. What I just noticed, it's got like Alcantara roof liner, I think. I'm not sure if it's an option or the previous owner fixed the headliner at some point. I don't know. So this is the fuse box, and it's a little crusty, as I can see and possibly you can see. An hour later, she's on my driveway. I guess the first thing is to disconnect and remove this battery. However, it's not old, but I guess it's dead. If it was totally discharged, there is a very little chance it can come back to life. When I will replace the battery, before I connect the replacement one, I would like to pull out the fuses out from this junction box or fuse box. I printed out the fuse diagram because I would like to pull pretty much all the bad fuses. I do not want to install the battery when the fuse box in this condition. Also, before I do any of that, I would like at least to wipe this passenger seat, because the mold is just growing there. And I really do not want to breathe all that crap, and so therefore I'm gonna clean it out first some, and then we're gonna get to the fuses. I just installed the replacement battery, but I did not hook up the negative terminal yet, because I would like to pull all the fuses from the affected rows of fuses, so we can see I guess it's A, B, C, D. So AB is fine, C, D, E are not. So I would like to pull all the fuses from those. You can even see it's done. So we're gonna need to actually disassemble this fuse box and see the condition of the contacts inside the receptacles. Okay. 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 Those two big fuses in the bottom are the fuses for the power seats, which is very important actually, because I need to remove the seats so I could clean the carpets, to dry the carpets. And since the seats are electric, I need to move them in order to get to those bolts. Come on. All right. Whew. I have some contact cleaner here. I mean, right now I can actually maybe slightly scrub it here and hook up the battery, and then we'll see what are the fuses like really necessary to check the, I don't know, the engine, for example, like the fuses for the fuel pump, for the engine computer, and you know, such stuff. So let me scrub it lightly, and I'm gonna go through the fuse diagram, and we'll see what we're gonna need to install back. Okay, let's put the negative terminal right here, and hopefully it's not gonna spark too much. I heard the windows articulating. Okay, I can hear some noises. I'm not sure, it's probably okay. This is this unit. Okay. Oh. Okay. Probably need to. Maybe I need to pull a couple more fuses. But guys, take a look. 15,000 miles. I noticed the smell coming from under the driver's seat, and I remembered that the fuse for it are in an A row, which is 3, 6, and 7. That's why it was smell. I guess I even saw some, how it calls, some smoke. All right. Hold on, we can check. Can we, or we cannot? I think I just saw the, how it calls, the oil level. Oil measuring duration 1 hour. Right, but guys, take a look. It's freaking 15,000 miles only on that car. Insane. So I connected like a new kind of essential fuse that needs to be there for you know, engine check, let's say. I'm not sure. Probably gonna need to push the. I heard the fuel pump. Okay. I hear the fans in the front, but hold on, guys. Uh-oh. Okay, that's enough. Engine is alive, so I don't want to crank it for too long or run it for too long, because who knows, I would like to, you know, drain the oil first, but at least we know it's running. I will need to figure out how to move the seats. So the second seat, I put the fuse in there, and I noticed the smoke was coming from here, so there is a definitely short somewhere. And it's gonna be another project about how to move them, so I can have the access to the screws that holds the seats in place. Guys, it's already a win. That's another day since we started the engine to see how it works, and with my luck, I purchased the Cayman with the electric seats. All my previous Caymans, let me put it that way, the Boxster, the Cayman that I had before, it got the manual seats, so I could, you know, slide them back and forth, so I can, you know, remove the bolts holding the seat, and you know, to remove it. Not with this one. The two front bolts were accessible, this one and that one, but the other bolts are not, because the seat is all the way back. So what I did is I unscrewed the seat from those points. 1, 2, it was 3 and 4, and oddly enough, this is the most inaccessible bolt, because you know when the seat is right here in place, there is almost no room to get to the bolt. It's been screwed from the outside, from this side. Okay, I managed to do that. So it looks like one of the most kind of easiest bolts right here. The problem is I'm not sure how they do it in a factory, but as you can see, I cannot put this bolt in, because this bolt in the front, it was it was going in from the inside, and there is no space for this bolt to go there. So I was using kind of the brute force, spreading around right here to get this last bolt out. And once I did it, I was able to remove the majority of the seat except for the rails. And now I removed the motor. Yeah, this is the motor for the going back and forth. It's totally shot. It's got like this cable from 2 sides, obviously one per each side. And now I am using the drill, and hopefully, I'm not sure where we're going with it, but I see something is happening, but rail is not going. Hold on, maybe it requires some more brute force, or actually, hold a second, changing plans. That's what we need. I forgot about it. So this is how it is connected, I think. Hold a second, let me find the wrench, and I'm gonna put those bolts completely. Probably don't need to make them super tight, however, for the good measure. And by the way, this wrench, like this kind of articulating wrench, was super useful in order to get those bolts that I'm just unscrewing, because the seat was on the top of them and I couldn't get to them. Okay, let's do it again. Yay! I think I need to do it like in sequence. This side, this side, this side, because obviously it's going crooked, but yeah, it works. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side now, and then I'm gonna do again this side. Guys, I just found out another trick. So I removed those bolts that I just screwed, and what we can do, actually, we can simply slide this thing forward without the motor, and a couple more taps. I already can see the bolt holding the rails. That's a success. 1 bolt and 2 bolts here. Oh my god, it took me, I don't know, the whole morning today, probably 3 hours at least to get to this point. And also one problem, this connector that was going into the kind of memory module for the seats, which is located right here. So it was fried and it's kind of baked into the module, so I couldn't even get the connector out. And for your information, I double checked eBay. Those modules goes for around $350. If you're lucky, probably you can get it sub $300, but I didn't see any offers, at least so far, for such a low price. So this is the high commodity item, I guess, for this particular reason. So this is the rear control module right there, and this is the seat control module that are super expensive. Additionally, those things, the buttons for the seat switches, or whatever you want to call it, those are $300 a piece on eBay. This one is fine. I opened it. Probably require a little bit of cleaning, but I know I'm not as lucky for the passenger side, because I saw like the I guess I showed you guys, there is the burn mark on the side of the seat, and I guess something inside this unit burned, and it's also burned the the trim piece on the side of the seat. But all that is doable. I mean, this is the low cost to pay for the damage like this. So I got the rear control module out. It's in the sad condition. Those connectors, this wiring needs to be replaced for sure. Let's check out inside. I don't think the trick that I made for a 07 Cayman, I guess, was it, like a few years ago. Oh my god. Oh my god, the smell. Whoo-wee. I'm not sure I'll be able to use any of those chips to transfer. Holy cannoli. Yeah, it's gonna be the new module. There is nothing to save here. Oh my god, the smell, I need to close it. Oh. Alright. But anyway, nonetheless, huge progress. I was super skeptical about how we're gonna remove the seat, but looks like at least driver's side worked out okay. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be easier or not on the other side. But the driver's seat was positioned higher, so I have enough kind of room to let's say squeeze my hand in to disconnect the connectors. But on the plus side, there is no such a module. On the passenger side, there is a different kind of module, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be harder or easier to work on a seat. I'm gonna remove the rails. I would like to remove the carpets ASAP, so I can start to clean it. Yeah, it's not good that the moisture is sitting there. Today I would like to go through the second step of our process of reviving this Cayman, and this is the removal of the passenger seat. I already removed the front driver's seat. This one gonna be, I think, possibly a little more tricky, because the driver's seat was adjusted to be higher, so I had at least a little room under the seat to operate, while this one is all the way down. And again, this is the almost worst case scenario, because the motors are shut, so I cannot simply take or go from under the seat, find the wiring for the motor, apply some voltage and make the seat go back and forth, which usually can be done, but not in that case, because the water level was I think approximately here. I don't know, you cannot see it from this on the passenger side, but on the driver's side it was kind of very obvious, like somewhere around here. It's not the worst case scenario, because I still have some access to the front bolts. If the seat would be slightly toward to the front and cover the front bolts, I don't know, it's gonna be total disaster, I think. But right now I think we still can do it. There is no perfect place to put a camera for this kind of work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna simply probably gonna explain you. I'm gonna remove those two plastic covers to expose the front bolts. I'm gonna remove those two switch covers, and hopefully that's gonna give me some room to release this panel from the side of the seat. And technically I can break this panel because it's already damaged. This is burnt through because of the short circuit, but I'm gonna treat it as normal good panel to be more transparent how to do this kind of it's not a repair, it's just disassembling, I guess. Let's begin. This clip goes up, and we have a bolt right here. It's good it's not too rusted. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. And clip. There you go. Again, the bolt is not too rusted. So now I'm gonna undo those two bolts, 1 and 2, and it will give me a little bit of play for the seat, so I'll be able to slightly put it up. Yeah, not too rusted. Alright, now we probably should have at least a little bit of play. I can probably wedge something under, like some kind of plastic or wood, to give it more space. So the next step of our program is removal of those switches. I don't think I need to be very concerned about this plastic trim, but I know I need to be concerned about the button itself, because button may be expensive. Clicked it back. By the way, the switch for the seat, it's around $300 or $350 on eBay used. All right. Okay, we got those two kind of buttons removed, or button covers. Now I will attempt to remove this plastic cover. There is one T20, I guess, bolt right here in the corner. It's very visible, but it's since the seat is too low, I'm gonna use the low profile micro ratchet. If you guys gonna be, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see anything. Let me find the bolt if it's available at all. Okay, on the looks like on the passenger side it's not available. There is some kind of cover right here. Let me see if I can remove it. Can't show you much on this one because it's right here underneath. But yes, I was able to remove those two bolts. One is for the, I don't know, some kind of cover that is not existing on the driver's side, and plus I was able to kind of to pry this edge slightly to get me some access for the, you know, this T20 Torx, the micro one. The smaller you have, the better. And so I was able to release that thing, kinda. So right now I will need to find the way to you know, detach the, okay, found the way to detach it. It's not gonna weigh all the way. I won't be able to remove it completely because there is one more bolt on the other, like in the back, holding the thing to the piece, I mean to this, holding this plastic cover to the seat. But I think I have some space to remove 3 bolts that is attaching the module with the switches to this plastic trim piece. I'll try to get in there again with the small with this tiny thing, undo those 3 bolts and remove those switches, making me more space, you know. And I'll try to get to this rear bolt to remove this piece completely. And a slight correction in the order of operation. I will remove this plastic part. There is one bolt here in the bottom, plus a bunch of clips, and it should give me a little bit more access to wiggle this plastic. I just removed this trim piece, so there was like one bolt right here, plus a bunch of, I know, clips, like 3 on each side, hold it in piece. So now I have more space to wiggle this piece, and I'll get more access to the bolts holding the switch panel attached to this trim piece. I'm not sure if you probably won't be able to see anything. Let's see if T10 works. Yeah, T10 works. And I was lucky enough, there is almost no damage to this switch panel on the driver's side. It needs just a tiny bit of cleaning, but like 98% didn't suffer, which I was surprised. And comparing to the other side, strange that this side is kind of burned. Okay, bolt number 2 is undone, and I need to find, okay, I see the location of bolt number 3. It's a little more drastic in terms of prying the panel. I am kind of surprised it's not cracking, considering its age. The micro power tool would be ideal in this situation. Sharp clips, also not very comfortable Halfway there. Guys, I'm gonna turn you off for a while. I need a little more space. I got all 3 bolts out, and now I can try to remove it. The wiring should be released. Alright, there you go. Yeah, that's it. This part burned. Freaking expensive replacement. Alright, there is your problem. Right here. Okay, I need to acknowledge the defeat. The same approach as I did for the driver's seat does not work for the passenger seat, and the reason for that is different construction of those tracks and mechanism. And I think the reason for that is that the passenger seat has those 2, I'm not sure, probably you cannot see, yeah, those 2 shiny modules, and I think it is the, I don't know, maybe sensor for the weight of the passenger, for the, how it calls, the airbag system, I think. So most likely I'm gonna try to apply power to the motors directly to see if any of them are alive, because looks like in the bottom of the seat there is much less carnage comparing to the driver's seat. So there is a chance that at least maybe one of them is still more or less alive, and I'll be able to adjust at least something, because right now it's very hard. It's in the lowest position everywhere, the front, the back. So since I changed my plan is I was able to remove the 2 bolts from the motor that was kind of closest to the front. It was fairly easy, not as convenient, but fairly easy. And I opened the housing from the motor, and I looped it with the WD-40, and I slightly pushed it back and forth, so the, how it calls, the brushes cleaned off the corrosion, because it had like this white oxidation on it. And looks like it did the trick for this particular motor, at least. At least I think I will be able to use this one to raise the front part of the seat, hopefully, using the connector that I removed from the switches on the side of the seat. And by the way, the driver seat has additional memory module on the seat, so the wiring from the switches goes into the module and then goes to the motors. And so again, those front and left seats are slightly different, but let's check out the motor. And also, by the way, it's kind of crusty inside, but the magnets are good. So I used the screwdriver to clean up some of this oxidation corrosion, and I'm gonna put it back together now. And there you go, the motor is alive now. I'm gonna put it back together in place, and hopefully I'm gonna raise the front part of the seat. Finally, some progress in here. It's down and it goes up. Precious space. Okay, technically I can now remove this motor, remove the motor next to it, assuming I'll find the spot to get with my screwdriver for the bolts, and I can use this like good motor to maybe raise the rear part of the seat. And looks like we can do the back of the seat now. Alright, that's maximum. And this is the last boss. I just removed it from the seat. This is the one that moves the seat back and forth. That's what we need. And the motor is exactly the same as the other ones, but it doesn't have any bolts onto it, so I didn't need to unscrew anything. It does have those kind of guide pins that I need to replace from one to our good one. Plus it has this kind of rubber cap that is used to, I guess, to guide the cable, because this motor has two cables. So one comes from the front, one comes from the back, because the other motors just got a cable from the front. However, again, they're equipped with the hole for the rear cable as well. But nonetheless, I'm gonna try to install this one. So this is the short cable for the kind of inner side, closer to the center of the car. So I'm gonna, install it here, and the longer cable that is still under the seat, I'm gonna go from this side, and we'll attempt to move the seat. I was trying to make this motor work for the seat moving back and forth, but I couldn't align those two cables, and I found a problem. The motor for the seat is about, I don't know, 1 centimeter longer. There is a problem. So I'll try to open up this motor and bring it back to life. I was able to bring the motor back to life without disassembling. Simply a few taps, around the, perimeter of the motor, and it's alive again. Possibly, and there are a few dead spots actually, so I need to rotate the motor a little bit, and it starts to work again. Probably it needs some going back and forth to minimize the dead spot effect. Just put the seat motor in place. Oh yeah, baby. Sound is not pretty, but it works. And that's all. Need some more. Yeah, I think I need some more. Probably gonna need to reverse the polarity. Go. I almost see the bolt in the back, so probably a couple more times back and forth. Almost there, like quarter of an inch. Just little by little. I think I can get it already, but the more space, the more comfortable or more convenient. It's still the same spot. Let me see if I can help it a little bit. A little more though. With a little, like a flex joint, I was able kinda to get to the oh yeah, and one more on the other side. The seat is officially unbolted. Yahoo! So this is how the carnage looked like. It's not as bad as the driver's seat, but you know, still. So those are things, some kind of sensors, 4 of them. It's for the like occupancy sensor, like weight sensor. Porsche decided to be very creative with it. So this is the motor that moves the seat back and forth. So this is the long cable going through the back of the motor, and there's like a little tiny cable that goes to the kind of inner side of the car. And this module appears to be the occupancy sensor that kind of works with those you know, weights or whatever it is. So this is how it works, and like 2 motors are removed. 1, 2. So out of those 3 motors, at least 2 are working now. It's a good idea to replace them anyway, because it's just a ticking time bomb before they quit working again. I am most likely gonna purchase the new set of this like a lower, you know, rails structure motors for this seat, as well for the driver's seat. I will remove this module, and I would like to take a look what inside, if there is the water, if there is any carnage inside of it, and then I'll see if I need to replace it or not. So yeah, this is the aftermath. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this center console, and I would like to pull this carpet out from the car, just to clean everything, to wash the carpet, to dry it, and it's gonna be a long process of recovery, repair afterwards.